guys, how you doing out there? We are on our way to the Laura Ingraham show. It's telling me to rotate again. I always rotate one way and it makes me go another. Hey guys, this is Shirley Husar with Shirley's World. I actually got a call from Laura Ingraham show in Washington DC, so I am in Los Angeles and they send me a driver and we are on our way because we caught some bad traffic. And we're going to be talking about homelessness tonight. Joe Biden said some crazy stuff on top of Eric Garcetti. Please bring up reparations. You know, if they bring that up, I may do that. I'm on live because I want to get some questions on what do you think I should talk about tonight. I know we're talking about homelessness. I know we're talking about African Americans and illegal immigration. Oh, the camera switch. There's a driver. Say hi, driver. Mike and I are going on. We've been talking. We haven't been talking politics, have we, Mike? No. It's a lie. Back to me, anyway. But we're going to be going live on Laura Ingraham. Please look for me tonight. I will be discussing the mental illness, the homelessness. Eric Garcetti is saying that we're doing great. We're going to be having housing for homeless people. As you know, that they need more than housing. They need more than food. They need to be, they need jobs. They need to be able to acclimate back into the system of entering into the workforce, but that's not a priority for them. What is a priority is to continue to have more people come here, immigrants, illegally, legally, and chain migration. We cannot handle the loads of people that continue to come into California. If you bring up reparations, you'll be a hero. You know what, somewhere if that comes up, I might be bold enough to talk about it. I will mention ADOS. How's that? Does that make everyone happy? I will mention the ADOS tonight on the Laura Ingraham show. I hope that you were able to watch the ADOS video that we talked about we were going to do, which we did do. And what we're going to do is a live show with a guest, and we're going to break down that video that's prior to this video, where I talk about how African Americans, descendants of slaves, came from 1619 to where we are today. Governmental system. Who else is out there? I don't think you need to talk about immigration and talk about all of the time on it, honestly. You know what? Because I'm in California, it is the key thing that has been, they bring me on from a perspective of California issues. So the number one problem in California is homelessness, illegal immigration, abuse of government, that the fact that we do have a lot of traffic because we have all these people with expired visas, green cards. It is the landing place in the world to come to with this open state policy. And the open state policy has to do with migrants and immigrants. And so that's why it's always talked about in California. Now, I know many of you guys are saying, oh my God, I'm sick of that subject matter. Well, it's not in your state. You don't live in it. You don't go to the stores where you're at a point now that there's no one of American descent that work in the stores, the markets, the schools, the restaurants that you go to. All of these people are Latino and Hispanic majority descent. And they cook all your food. They cook Mexican, Italian, soul food. They cook everything that you eat and it tastes horrible. I went to a Morfina barbecue place in the Marina Del Rey. Shout out to that family who used to own it. They had to end up selling it because the father passed away. Pete was from Louisiana. He was Greek, but he had some of the best barbecue. Well, now the Latinos are cooking it and they're cooking greens. And I was so disappointed to be in Marina Del Rey eating greens by Mexicans who don't know how to cook. So it is an issue that
in 2 miles. Take the interchange on the left.
Exit that navigation system. ADOS, African American Descendants of Slaves, is one of the things I will be talking about tonight. Do you think black do you think blacks honestly have a future in California? I think majority African Americans should move out. I think there should be a black out movement. I think the black leaders needs to come together and we need to take care of our own people, just like the Jewish communities and every other communities who only cater to their own. This whole thing, American first, and it's all about Americans, that doesn't apply. It's not applicable in California. California is we're a bad version of Epcot. For me, that deal with the health and sanitation and the hepatitis issues going on. So yes, I think that a lot of African Americans need to look to move into the South, need to look to taking, if you get Section 8 or welfare, if you're watching this from a tent, you need to find a way to get out of the state of California, exit out and find a new opportunity for you somewhere else. I can't imagine living in California today. Oh my God. You know,
in a half mile, take the interchange on the left.
Amen. That's who your name is. I give you a lot of props for that one, because we have also lived through a Holocaust, and we're living in another generation through seeing our elderly black people homeless. It's just devastating that you just can't do nothing, and that the state's not going to do anything, because we are not a priority as a culture of people. If they would have all those people be Italian or Asian, they would jump and get those homeless people taken care of much faster. African Americans are looked upon as daily in tents. You know, this is what I'm talking about. I agree, California is pretty much a foreign country at this point. Absolutely. California is an option of black communities. Take my glasses off. I'm Hispanic conservative. Well, good for you. What do you think about blacks moving to Las Vegas? Nope. Las Vegas, get out. California, get out. Washington State, get out. Arizona, you know, they just kind of like go right on that border, right on that line. But what else do you think I should talk about tonight? Because the subject matter is homelessness. It's also the fact that Eric Garcetti says, look, we're doing an initiative to save gas and have it so that we can make it so it's you know, friendly as far as the transportation and the scooters and the bikes. You guys know them scooters, they just kind of lay anywhere they want in California. So you could be talking and walking and you trip over and hurt yourself. They don't care. And the reason why they do that, because of high density impact of real estate. The Fed should be a printing fatter for a poor in the stock market. Okay, this thing goes off and on, but I'm quick and interested in African American issues from the red pill perspective. Well, you know what, watch though tonight, give it a thumbs up, make sure you guys tweet Laura and say thank you for having Shirley on. It helps me a lot. It's even like there's not that many of us on like right now, but even if I just had 10 or 20 good people to retweet and say, Laura, thank you for putting people like Shirley on from her perspective. She represents our perspective, and I want to do a really good job for you. Do you think you should talk about how illegals affect black people? Love your work. God bless you. Yes, I will talk about how illegals affect the black community, because they migrated into our community. They migrated into communities that welcomed them, and then after they came welcome, they abused the system. They also come in and bring in their business in. They're able to start businesses and get funded by banks and small businesses, put as priority, as I've talked about before, if that goes that far. Usually on these shows, you only get about 7 minutes, 5 minutes, so you got to hit them and hit them hard. What do you need to talk about? Trump wants the feds to print money to prop up the stock market. I haven't been reading about that. Quarantine easy. I think we should do that for the poor and black folks. You know, propping up money is one thing. I think that black African Americans need to sit at a table with each other. I think that we need to deal with the abuse and the subhuman use of who we are. I think that there's businesses that we need to take over. I think that we need to boycott Korean beauty salons. If there's an opportunity for you to go to a black beauty salon, passed away, shout out. We are on the 405. We're on the 405 freeway, so bear with me. It'll go off and in, but I'll still keep reading your comments as you type them. Black people are so poor that it's vital. It's important to organize and start businesses, and that's why we need reparations. This is true, but that's why you have the opportunity zone programs that are out there, and it's really how to utilize the government systems. Go to U.S. Black Holocaust Survivor. Go to Eric Coffey on YouTube and look up a SCORE contract. He has a great videos where he tells you how to get governmental contracts that have been allocated towards people of color. But the problem is now minority means everything. El Salvador, Guadalajarans, you know, Ethiopians, Africans, everybody's a minority. So the ADO, African American descendants of slaves, have been marginalized to crumbs unless we start speaking out, letting them know that the Constitution and the things that go with it applies to us. I wish you Godspeed tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for your prayers, Monroe. Thank you so much for that. We're 16% of the populations with 2.5 of the wealth. This is true, but we also have where that 1% of that 2.5 or 5% of those 16% people don't prioritize by having foundations and organizations to make sure that there's money and wealth to help us stay out of destitute like we are today. We just don't work together, and we need to do that. Let's see, whether black climbs to social ladder or the leftists get power, hunger to escalate all you back into the plantation. They would love to have. We're still almost. You remember, we're kind of like are in the plantation mode because of. We are in a plantation mode because we have to think about. We have privatized prisons that are still priority in this country, and there's also the fact that we are treated as subhuman. Again, we have a really bad problem within the black community at the beauty salons, where these men have just been very abusive and rude to black women, and the police are not siding with the African American people, but with the Koreans who have come into our community. Immigration has really displaced us as far as businesses. Make sure you guys go to YouTube again and go to PBS documentary Black Boss. It's a documentary that's talking about the black African Americans who are made a difference and we have businesses and are trying to come back today, and some of the venture capitalists that are out there. So we do see a shift, but many of us who like activists like myself who are out here in the field and out in the city and talking to people and exposing things, it's because of people like you that show your love to me. And I try to do my best when I'm out there on the national platform. Yo, thank you for the $5. Oh my God. Girl, thank you. I'm going to go get a sandwich with that tonight. I'm going to go and get that sandwich from Subway because I'm hungry, but they don't feed you. They don't pay you for this either. I'm not that level of a person, but I got a car. I feel like Cinderella, the pumpkin thing. You get that Cinderella car and then you're done. Tell those same morons who support abortion in the name of young poverty that all this illegal immigration is the cause. Absolutely. Illegal immigration is a big cause. I've got to think of a different form to execute this talking about immigration, but God always gives it to me. So just pray for me. All the Christians who are out there, pray God will give me the right words to continue to open up things. Eric, by the way, COFFIE breakdown just came out, just popped up on my screen. Eric, shout out to Eric. He has videos that would tell you how to acquire funds from the government to start this, or to either do an acquisition and merger with someone, or to partner up and be a liaison in the middle for someone. So please look Eric up, because many of you guys say, hey, there's no money happen, but you can make it happen. Let's see. I'm definitely going to pray for you, sister. You're a warrior princess. Hey, warrior, warrior. So again, for those who just chimed in, I am in a car driving to Fox News. This is not a state, this is national news. I will be on the Laura Ingraham show. I'm going to see my girl Laura. I'm going to say shout out to all my California peeps. And I will mention ADOS, African American Descendants of Slaves. I also will definitely talk about, we are in a 400-year anniversary. 1619 marks the anniversary of African Americans in this country. President Trump signed a commencement, and from the commencement we hope to utilize. Okay. For those of you who were kind enough to wait, there were 2 of you that waited. I had to literally reboot the whole damn phone, but thank you for staying on. Look, I will talk about the ADOS, and how I think I'm going to enter it is just talking about the 400-year anniversary of African Americans in this country. We need to clarify, when you use the word reparations are being used today for people who are chain migration. What does the word mean? That's always my question when they use the word reparations. Well, what does that mean to you? What does that mean? And when they tell you what that means, then you answer that question of its meaning in conjunction to today, not in conjunction to in poverty, because of under different administration that have other stuff. There are a lot of things that are great in America, but they're not great for African Americans because of the leveraging of governmental systems and programs and opportunity from the masses of the immigrants, illegal immigrants, and American people. So yeah, that is one of the major issues. Okay, let's keep going. It's buffing. Let's see. Yeah, it's on again. The DNC should they pay. You know, the DNC has not really shown they have a contender to go up against Trump. The DNC is in trouble right now because it is a party that is known as a socialist and a liberal party. That's how they're looked upon. And so they really have no agenda. Keep in mind, when we talk about African American people, you can't take what they give you after you tell them what we want. And that's why I'm putting this event together August the 10th through August the 21st in Virginia Beach. So make sure that you look for the registration that'll be coming up. Other people will be talking. We're going to have some great speakers, and I think you're going to love it. That were asked. Brooke, if you do come back on, yes, thank you for praying for me, sister. Praying for you now. Thank you, Brooke, so much. I hope that you here were able to see me talk about that. I want to thank you guys so much for your donation. I appreciate that too, all the money that's been given. Another question, what gets me into a Democrat claiming to fight, but they never actually have any of them show appreciation for the Black American accomplishments? Well, no one cares about Black accomplishments of the past or the future. People live in an ideology of themselves now. It's about me. It's not about you. It's about me and my people. You know, like the lady who's out there talking about anti-Semitism, and the one talking about against the Jews. She is a clear example of how she was elected by her own people. Displaced a lot of African American people by not allowing them to get back in their homes and giving homes to Muslims and Syrians and a lot of people who were refugees. Remember, if Hillary would have been elected, we would be dealing with a lot of refugees right now. So we talk about illegal immigrants and immigration. Under that previous DNC administration, we would have been dealing with refugees. We would be going through a lot of stuff that Great Britain and other countries and Sweden are dealing with right now. We're just dealing with the folks who did get over and how to address them. Let's see what else. Reparations. You guys continue to talk about reparations. You know, in what form? And this is when people talk about reparations, and how do you want to get it? You want to get a check, okay? Well, that check, where's it going to go? You're going to pay your Chinese landlord, or are you going to end up giving your money towards illegal immigration? In the sense of helping pay their hot dogs while you feed them on the street. I mean, reparations should be in the form of a business opportunity. We should be looking through them, and they are through the business zones that are out there. There's systems in place that we can work, but we don't communicate our community as a culture of people, meaning the African Americans. So that word is great to use, but you're not going to get, their government will not write a check to you, say, oh, you're Black, you get a check, or you're African American descendant, you're going to get a check. You should not expect that, because they're not going to do that. What you can do is to start looking for legislations that will put a protection hedge over you. Then in the end, that will be part of the reparations that we need. But we all believe we do need financial, but we need businesses. And we need to be able to take care of our own. I truly believe that. So anyway, it's a mass population culture. Exactly. I'm reading both of your things. Exactly. I care about some of the African Americans have done exemplary security systems. You know, we talk about different opportunities for African Americans as far as inventions, technology. I think about hair industry because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The things that we use on our everyday. But to have these people now come to your community and set up shop, cooking greens, fried chicken, soul food, like in Baltimore. Shout out to my Baltimore friends who are watching. Yeah, that's an issue going on. So anyway, look like we're getting ready to soon be getting off the freeway. They're going to touch me up. Probably put some lashes on me, girl. Put some lashes on the girl. Anyway, I'll try to come back on live one more time when I'm at the studio. Again, say a prayer. Please tweet out Shirley Husar is going live on Laura Ingraham Show. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon.